Hi guys, this is all me. Today I want to talk about physical differences between three different Asian countries: Korea, Japan, and China. I was born and raised in Korea, but I'm living in Japan. And actually, I'm seeing a lot of differences. And when I was studying in England, I met a lot of different Chinese friends. And I was actually really surprised that we have a lot of physical differences. People say there's only less than 5% of genetic differences between Korea, Japan, and China because our history is connected deeply. Especially for Western people, it's really difficult to see the differences, but I saw those little differences and it was very, very interesting. So I wanted to share those with you. First, it is the line in the arm. So, it's not really clear when you see in this video, but basically people have the line in the middle of the arm, this line, but I have one more line here near this line. This is one of the characteristics I heard that it is from Mongolians. When I asked, do you have this line to my Korean friends, 80% of them say yes. But in Japan, it was the opposite. Only 20% of friends says they have it. I can almost see you, that Japanese guys who are watching this, you've never seen this obviously. One of my Japanese friends told me that she thought that she got this line because she got fat. Here's the reason. Historically, many Mongolians conquered other countries and there was high percentage they invaded Korean territory more because it was geographically close. This is actually the characteristic showing the blood was mixed with Mongolian. There are other characteristics as well. If your pinky toenail is divided in two, it is also the characteristic that your blood is mixed with Mongolian. All of my Chinese friends I met, they had this line as well, so I imagine that there was much more possibility it was mixed. The second is the teeth. I see the ideal of a set of teeth is very even in Korea, but in Japan, there are so many different kinds of people and basically okay with diversity. And some people even prefer uneven teeth. Japanese people see it's charming, it's very interesting. I was surprised so many celebrities have uneven set of teeth as well. I see Chinese people even consider it's important to have even set of teeth as well. I guess for Western people, even set of teeth is very important. It's kind of essential to get orthodontics before becoming another there, right? I think regarding the teeth, Japan has really unique culture. Many people have uneven set of teeth and they regard this a charming point, as I said before. One of the reasons Japanese has uneven teeth is that their jaw is so small to have it all, and there's no enough room for teeth to grow. And I will explain more about that in the next part. Japanese people tend to have sharp jaw compared to Korean and Chinese people. Koreans and Chinese basically have a bigger jaw type, but I think Chinese has bigger and rectangular jaw. That also makes the overall face difference as well. People say Korean people have circular face and Japanese people have triangular face and Chinese people have rectangular face. Next is cheekbone. Chinese people definitely has the biggest cheekbone. Next is Korean, and I think Japanese people have the smallest cheekbone. Basically, Japanese have smaller bone structure, including all the body, so I don't think there's enough room for having the big cheekbone. Next is eyelid. When I came to Japan for the first time, I was so surprised to see that most of the Japanese girls have the eyelid. I think more than 80% of Japanese girls have eyelids. This is very high percentage compared to Korean girls. Many Korean girls do the plastic surgery, especially when they graduate high school. We don't even call it plastic surgery anymore because it's so simple and it's the eyelid surgery. And I think for Chinese people, the percentage is even lower. Next is diversity of face. There are so many mixed blood people in Japan compared to Korea and China, even historically. We see so many diverse type of faces in Japan due to that. We can see face like Western people or Southeast Asian people in Japan, and Japanese people call it koigao, which means strong face. This is really different from Korea and China. If we set the type of face, Korean people can set one, but I don't think it's easy for Japanese people to set one typical type of face of Japanese person because there are so many different types. One of the reasons I heard is that historically there were more people coming over to Japan from other countries compared to Korea and China. For Chinese, it's very different because there are so many different kinds of races in this huge continent. It's like you should compare people from 10 different countries, so there has to be diversity of face in China. Next is about hair. It's also related to diversity of race because, Western and Southeast Asian people have more hair compared to Asian people. So those genes are mixed more in Japan, and I've seen a lot of people having a lot of hairs compared to Korean people in Japan. I think Korean and Chinese people have thinner hair generally compared to Japanese. The last is about makeup. Regarding the lipstick, I really think Chinese girls use really red lipstick. That is kind of a trend, but I think lipstick always has been redder compared to Korean and Japanese people regarding Chinese people. And Japanese people have the lightest makeup. But the common point is they all prefer white skin. But I think especially Korean people tend to prefer the white, really white makeup. This is also related to diversity because Japanese people have so many different types of skin. Dark skin also can be regarded as sexy and really a good type of makeup. So I think the trend to make a really white skin makeup is strong in Korea. So today I talked about physical differences between Northeast Asian countries, Korea, Japan, and China. Did you guys have fun? Yeah! I will be back with more interesting contents regarding all these three countries. See you next time. Bye!